to another Speed Week vlog. It is night number 2 of the 2019 Western Sprint Tour. Last night, unfortunately, got rained out at Coos Bay, which would have been night number 2. And tonight was supposed to be scheduled to be at the Willamette Speedway, just about an hour north up the I-5 corridor. Now, that got moved from Willamette to Cottage Grove. And so 3 of the 5 nights of the Western Sprint Tour are going to be at the Cottage Grove Speedway, which I'm not complaining about because this is my favorite racetrack to run in a sprint car. But anyway, we're going to get into tonight. Remember, group qualifying, then we got a heat race, and that's going to set us up for the top 8 being in a redraw, and then into the A main event. Now, I'm happy it's at Cottage Grove because I run best here. I'm really comfortable. I have a lot of laps around this place in a limited and a 360. We were 10th in points after Wairika, so we're hoping to move up a few spots tonight. Anyway, let's get into the vlog. It's going to be an exciting day. Just got done with our qualifying session in the 360. Felt all right out there. Very, very good in 3 and 4. I felt like I was straight. I came off low. But 1 and 2, I was just struggling a little bit. I felt a little loose on entry, a little crossed up almost. It's weird. It's like an invisible slickness. I couldn't tell if it was grip or slick because it was all mixed into one on the top side of the track. And I don't know if I just entered a little low. I entered in the middle, but maybe it was still a little grease and I needed to enter above it. So 1 and 2 needed a little bit of work for me, but 3 and 4, I felt really, really good. So we're just gonna have to see where we end up, make a few adjustments, and see what the track does. Heat race is over, went 5th to 4th. With this format, it makes it really, really tough to start in the back and go forward with as many good cars as we have. So that might put us in the dash. It's gonna be close. We're probably gonna be towards right where we were at in Wairika, either the bottom half of the dash or we're gonna be right after that 7th or 8th position. The problem was first corner, I ran the top and it was just super, super rough. Caught one of the big holes and just bounced forever and lost a lot of ground. But we made it back up, got a spot, got some passing points and decent in finishing. So we're just gonna wait for them to post and then I'll try to show you guys the racetrack.
Holmes, we'll see, and what's this gentleman's name? Gavin. All right, Gavin, reach in there. And Tanner Holmes will indeed start in 3rd. So that's inside.
A couple weeks ago, Devin Borden became the youngest winner in the history of the American Sprint Car Series with a win at Grays Harbor Raceway in Elma, Washington against the National Tour. Green flag is on.
main event's getting ready to roll out. So the track here at Cottage Grove, it's decently rough. It's not like there's a bunch of big holes. It's just like the top side of 1 and 2. It seems like it's rough down there, but everywhere else is pretty good. There's a little hole on the bottom of 1. But for that dash, I just threw the anchor out. I just was not that good. Started 3rd, finished 6th. I never got in a good rhythm ever. I never even felt like I really got a good lap in. Maybe a few good corners, learned some stuff that way. But now we're changing some things on the setup and we're going back to what we know works and what we've ran here. We had it a little bit different for the dash and I just felt horrible. I felt loose on the bottom, 1 and 2, in 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, I felt a little tight on the top, and you know, just little things. I never had a solid lap. But like I said, we're going back to what we know works. So now it's my job just to get up on the wheel, get in my comfort zone, get in a good rhythm, and try to run the best 30 laps that I can and get in the top 5 and maybe even go after a podium and a win. So it makes me feel a little bit better that at least we know what we need to do with the setup and not like we're just chasing it even for the A main event. But time to head out here in a little bit. They're calling 360s. night number 2 of the Western Sprint Tour during 2019 is over. So tonight was supposed to be at Willamette. It got moved to Cottage Grove, and the track was absolutely awesome. It was slick to nothing on top, it felt like, at least in 1 and 2. There was just a little bit to lean on. A few drivers went over the edge. I know Kobe Copeland did, Justin Cox did, a few others. And then 3 and 4 had a little bit more grip. At the beginning of the race, as you guys saw, I was like, all right, kind of searching around, trying to figure out how I wanted to drive the top to try to get the most speed out of the corner and not go over the edge. And like mid-race, I kind of got passed by a few cars. I'm like, this is dumb. I'm not that fast on top. So I went to the bottom and I found something. Now this is right after lap 10, and I started making some moves, and I was really good. I was getting right at the bottom half of the top 5, and I think if that green flag run would have went on longer, we wouldn't have got a yellow so quick. I could have been in the top 3. No one was going to the bottom. I was showing my nose, and I was just getting ready to pass some good cars. But of course, since I showed my nose and then the yellow came out, then those guys all went to the bottom, and I kind of just got out of sequence. I wasn't hitting my mark every single lap. And that's something I definitely need to work on, getting in a good rhythm. Like I've talked about, you know, if I can get in a good rhythm, I start hitting my mark every single time, and I can get in a bad rhythm. But the yellow flags were just really messing me up, and I wasn't hitting my line right, or it would take me a lap to get going. So anyway, the bottom kind of started to go away, and I just wasn't as good. So I started moving back up to the top because the guy passed me right through the slick. I thought it was maybe taking a little bit of rubber. And this is at the end of the race, the last run, and I just caught myself, not almost panicked, just searching too much. You know, one thing I need to work on a lot in the sprint car is if something isn't working, not necessarily just freak out and try something completely different. Work on perfecting a line and working on finding it, but not just searching like one corner, go to the bottom, then next to the top, then in the middle, and then just whatever. And I found myself late in the race kind of doing that, and that's why I lost some positions. I dropped from 5th to 8th. We talked about it as a crew, and we think there's a few things we could have done a little bit better with the car, because I just was kind of buzzing the tires. It felt like I was trying to roll out of the throttle, especially off of 4 on the top side, but I just felt like my right rear was hanging. It was just out to dry and nothing was there, where other guys just had so much rear grip and they were able to drive off the corner. And also track time, you know, during that race, I just needed to be a little bit more up on the wheel at the right times and being smarter, watching the track change and be a little bit more on top of that. And that's one of the biggest things in the 360 for sure in any type of sprint car racing, being on top of the racetrack, watching what it does. If you're on top of it as a smart racer, you're gonna pass guys because you're gonna see how the track's changing throughout the race, where the line is and how to drive it. But anyway, we came home 8th. We're definitely getting better and better, and I think we competed during the A-main event, which is good. At Wairika, I felt like we were just a car that was out in the pack. But anyway, I'll see you guys all in the next video tomorrow at Banks. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate everyone who helps us out. It was a pretty good night, you know, another top 10. Our goal is to finish in the top 10 every single night. We made the redraw, we qualified good. So anyway, I'll see you guys all at Banks. Hopefully we can get a little bit better. Deuces.